Good morning again. Now let's move on to the chapter. As you already know, this chapter is about a very revered, respected Sufi saint named Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia. Hazrat is his title because this is what we call him out of respect. Hazrat means Shri or Mr. like we say with the name. We always refer to him as Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia. Aulia we call people who are saints, highly respected saints. So India is often referred to as the land of mystics. Mystics are these saints, Sufi saints, those who dedicate their life towards the devotion of God or humanity. So we have had many such Sufi saints here in India. And Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia was a Sufi saint. He was one of the Sufi saints who lived during the 13th century. This story shows his simplicity and the austerity of his lifestyle. So simplicity, leading a very simple life. Austerity means also not going after the comforts, not going after the luxuries of life, living in a very austere manner, like making do with very whatever little you have. थोड़े पे ही गुजारा करना. लग्जरीज जो हम डिफरेंट मटीरियलिस्टिक वर्ल्ड की तरफ जाते हैं, हमारे पास ये भी होना चाहिए, वो भी होना चाहिए, वो ऐसी लाइफ लीड नहीं करते थे. सो दिस स्टोरी इज टेलिंग अस हाउ austere his life was. It also shows how people with divine knowledge, divine is godly knowledge, having the knowledge of God and having such a knowledge, spiritual knowledge, apart from this worldly knowledge जो हम पढ़ते हैं about science and all, divine knowledge is what we learn from our religion and how we put it into use. That spiritual language can give without having. So how can we give that knowledge to people without expecting anything in return? So this also tells us about that being selfless in our ways and means, and how this divine knowledge can help us in so many ways, how it can give to people without taking anything in return or expecting anything in return. So about Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, I have already told you, he stressed love as a means of realizing God. He didn't tell people to be constantly in prayers, in rooms, just eating and praying, that's all. No, he stressed on people to serve humans, and that would be like serving God. For him, his love of God amplified a love of humanity. His vision of the world was marked by a highly evolved sense of religious pluralism. So he believed that all religions are same. No religion teaches us one thing and or a different thing. So he believed in pluralism. He treated all religions as same and teaching us the same things of love and devotion and kindness. So this is what he believed in. He emphasized on renunciation. Renunciation is leaving the luxuries of life, living a simple life and having complete trust in God. And he believed in the unity of mankind and shunning, leaving distinctions based on social, economic and religious status. That is what he believed in. Oneness of unity of people. He didn't believe in caste system. He didn't believe in differentiating people on the basis of different religions. He just said treat everybody on the same scale. And he believed in helping the needy, feeding the hungry, and being sympathetic to the oppressed. And he didn't believe in that time Delhi was under the rule of the sultans. They were called sultans or nobles. He didn't believe in going to their courts and mixing with them. No, he believed in being with the poor, helping those people who needed him. Otherwise there have been these Sufi saints who have been mixing with these nobles, kings, queens. He didn't believe that. He told people, if you dedicate that time in serving the poor and the needy and the fellow humans, that would be much better than mixing with sultans, living a very luxurious life. And he believed in close contact with the poor and the downtrodden. And he adopted an uncompromised attitude towards all forms of political and social oppression. He also believed in one kind of music. That music was without these musical instruments and all. That is called sema. That sema is, it is kind of a music or songs or hymns in the praise of God, but without the use of any musical instruments. That is what this holy saint or this Sufi saint believed in. So these were his beliefs. The most important belief of him was not differentiating people on the basis of caste, religion, or their social status, treating everybody in the same manner. So you'll read it all in the chapter. So the story goes like this. In a little village, there lived a poor man who was so tired of being poor that his sole aim in life was to become rich and have a lot of money. So this story is about a poor man who lived in a village, and he got so tired. Every day he tried his best, he tried very hard to earn money, but he couldn't do it. So he was very tired. He lost patience. He was very tired of being poor. Every day he had to struggle for his livelihood. तो वो इस चीज से बहुत परेशान हुआ. He wanted something जिससे कि उसकी लाइफ बहुत आसान हो जाती और उसके पास बहुत जल्दी पैसे आ जाते. So he was tired of being poor. That his sole aim in life was to become rich and have a lot of money. मतलब इतना परेशान हुआ अपनी गरीबी से आ गया कि वो बस चाहता था that बस बहुत हो गया. I should have money now anyhow. I should have money anyhow. कहीं से भी मेरे पास पैसे आ जाए, so that he lives, so that he becomes rich. Now in his desperation, he lost so much of patience. He lost his hope. Now, in his hopelessness, he had tried many means of making money. He tried many ways of earning quick money. But he didn't get any satisfactory results. But it was all in vain. It didn't help him in any way. Then one day, someone told him of a great Sufi saint, Hazrat Nizamuddin औलिया. तो जब वो बहुत परेशान हो गया, लोगों से भी बोलता रहा कि मैं बहुत परेशान हो रहा हूँ. So one day a person told him about a great Sufi saint, Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, who lived in Delhi. The poor man was told that the saint was a very kind man. Of course, he was a very kind man. He looked after the poor and the needy in a very kindly way, with extremely wealthy followers. So that person told him that there is a Sufi saint at Delhi who has got very rich followers, wealthy followers. So he must be having a lot of money. You can go to him and tell him about your condition, and he may help you. This Sufi saint may help you. Surely he will give me enough money to start a new business. Okay, when he heard about the Sufi saint, when that person told him about the Sufi saint, he was sure that he would give him. Because that person also told him that he was a very kind man. So he believed that he would definitely give me money so that I can start a new business. So with that belief, he went to Delhi. And then I will be a rich man, thought the villager himself. So let's see what these words mean. Mystics, a person who attempts to be united with God through prayer. So he believes in serving God and praying to God. This mystic, Peer Fakir jinko hum bolte. Sufi saint, a person belonging to a specific group. So this person is also a Sufi saint, is also a mystic, but he belongs to a specific group and who leads a simple life without any comforts or luxuries. Austerity, living without comforts, luxuries, or decorations, and divine is holy. Desperation is hopelessness. So these were the difficult words from this part of the chapter. And then what happens after that? This person tells him, when this person is fed up with his poverty, this villager, so he tells others that I'm fed up, I want to get rid of my poverty. So there is a person who tells him that there is a saint in Delhi who can definitely help him. So this person thinks of going to Delhi and meeting the Sufi saint with the hope that the saint would give him enough money for business purposes. The very next day he set off for Delhi. So he got ready to go to Delhi, where the Sufi saint stayed. He had to walk all the way as he could not afford to travel on a horseback. So he went walking all the way as he didn't have money to travel on a horseback. Tired and hungry, the poor man arrived at the home of the saint at last. Finally, he reached that place. Hungry and tired, the Sufi greeted him kindly. So Sufi welcomed him very kindly. And one of his followers guided him to where he could wash himself and brought him food to eat. After taking some rest, the villager told the Sufi the purpose of his visit. So when he reached there, the Sufi greeted him and welcomed him very kindly. After that, one of the followers of the Sufi showed him the place where he could freshen up, where he could wash himself, because he was tired and he had walked on foot such a long distance, and gave him food as he was hungry also, and made him comfortable. After some time, after he freshened up and ate and rested a little, the Sufi asked him about the purpose of his visit, and this poor man, told him so. Why is it so important for you to have money? The Sufi asked him. The Sufi, after listening to him, asked him, why is it so important for you to have money? The villager recounted his woes. So he told him about all his woes, how much he has been struggling with life, how much he has been struggling in life, earning his livelihood, but he can't make his life comfortable enough. So he told him about all his problems, all his woes. I don't have enough money to even eat or clothe myself, that I can't even earn even that much to eat a wholesome meal or have enough clothes to wear. If I have a lot of money, I will never have to worry about these things. I will be happy. And if I have enough money, I will never have to worry about it. You are welcome to stay here for as long as you want. So this is what the Sufi saint tells him in reply. You are welcome. If you want to stay here with us, you are welcome. Nobody will ask you to leave this place. So you can stay here as long as you want. You will never be hungry. You will be given to eat, and will always be decently attired, and will always be decently dressed. So you'll have clothes to wear, you'll have food to eat, and you'll have a place to live here as long as you want. The Sufi assured him. But the villager was adamant. Sufi told him, you can stay here, you can have food to eat, you will have clothes to wear, and you will have a shelter above your head. Maybe I cannot give you money. But this villager was adamant. He didn't want that. He only insisted on money. Adamant is, वो जिद पे अपनी अड़े रहा. उससे बोला नहीं, बस मुझे पैसे ही पैसे चाहिए, so that I can start a business of my own. I cannot stay here doing nothing, being idle, just eating and sleeping and wearing good clothes. I do not want this much in my life. Only this much in my life. I want some money. So he was adamant. He wanted money. For him, that was the only solution to his problems, because he believed that if money was the only solution to his problems. He wanted to continue living in his village, start a business, and live in a comfortable house. So he didn't want to live in Delhi with the saint. He wanted to go back to his village, earn a living on his own with the money the Sufi would give him, and live a very comfortable life there in a very comfortable house. The Sufi asked him, "Why did you come to meet me? I am not a rich man." So when he was adamant, when he insisted on the money, Sufi asked him, "So why have you come to me? I don't have money. Because I'm not a very rich man. But there are many rich men in Delhi. From where? From whom you may go and ask for money." So he told him, "Then if you want money, why have you come here? I don't have money. I'm not a rich man. But of course, there are many rich men living in Delhi who can help you." The man said that he had thought of that, but knew from experience that the rich are never eager to part with their wealth. The man told him, "Yes, I had also thought about going to some wealthy person, going to some rich person and asking him for the money. But my experience tells him that they are never ready to part with their wealth. They never give money, a good portion of money to any person so that that person can start a business. They might give you very little money, but not enough to start a business. So I have an experience. That is why I have come to you, because I have heard you are a very kind man. I had heard that you never turn your back on anyone, so I came to you. And I have heard that you never refuse help to anybody. Whoever comes to you, that person never returns empty-handed. You are so kind that you help everyone. That is why I have come with this faith in mind, with this trust in you that you will not leave me or let me go empty-handed." The Sufi slowly nodded his head. So the Sufi, without saying anything, he just moved his head in assent, like उसने ऐसे सर हिलाया, हाँ मैं, but said nothing. वो बस सर हिलाते रहे. He remained busy with the rest of the day. So he didn't tell him anything. After that, he just left and remained busy with other people or whatever he was doing, whatever was his routine during the day. There were prayers to be said. He had to pray. He had to offer namaz, visitors to be met, and other people to be met, and students to be taught. He continued his normal routine. So he just continues his routine of the day without telling this person anything, whether he would give him money or whatever. The villager waited patiently for the Sufi to summon him. So he didn't lose patience. He just waited patiently, with lot of patience, for the Sufi, because he believed that he would not leave him, let him go empty-handed, to summon him, कि उसको बुलाए, to call him and give him money, or ask one of his wealthy friends to give him some. So he believed that Sufi would not let him go empty-handed. He would definitely call him and give him money, or he would ask some of his wealthy followers to give me money. This is what he believed, कि वो मुझे खाली हाथ जाने नहीं देगा, या तो वो खुद मुझे पैसे देगा, या फिर किसी अपने फॉलोवर को बोलेगा मुझे पैसे देने के लिए. 2 days passed and he was getting impatient. Now he waited patiently, but now 2 days had gone and now he was losing patience also. On the 3rd morning, he realized that his trip to Delhi was not going to bear fruit. जब तीसरा दिन भी आया, he thought that my coming to Delhi has been a waste. It's not going to bear any fruit. It is a futile exercise. It was very useless for me to visit Delhi and expect any help from anyone. So he thought that he is going back empty-handed, because the Sufi was not telling him anything. He didn't reply him. He didn't tell him. He didn't give him any assurance that he would get any kind of money here. So this person thought, the poor man thought, that he is not going to get any money. So my coming to Delhi has been a total waste. and it was time for him to leave for his village, so he should just go back. He had been taken care of very well. He was taken care, he was given good food, he was given good clothes to wear, he was taken good care of. He had not been hungry, nor had he slept so comfortably in a long time. But money was not given to him. He was given every comforts. He was given good food, he slept well, he was dressed well, so but he was not given any money. Feeling disappointed, he went to say farewell to the Sufi. So he went to Sufi so that he could tell him that now that you are not going to give me money, so I am leaving. तो उसको farewell करने के लिए, ताकि उसको बोले that I am leaving this place. So these are more difficult words. Patiently means calmly and quietly without losing patience. Summon, to call. Impatient, irritable. And worn out means used and almost torn. Let's see what was torn. Here we have more words which we missed in our previous slide. Afford, didn't have any money to pay for, so he didn't have any money to pay for a ride on the horseback. Recounted, told again, or remembered, or told him. Woes, worries, troubles. Attired means dressed. Assured is promised, and adamant is refusing to be persuaded or to change one's mind. मतलब जिद पे अड़े रहना. Set off, started his journey, and to part with, to give their part. Now when he goes to bid farewell to the Sufi saint asks him, are you leaving? But I can't let you go empty handed. तो उसने उससे बोला कि नहीं, आप कैसे जा सकते हो, मैं अगर आपको जाना ही है, मैं आपको ऐसे खाली हाथ नहीं भेजूंगा. The villagers' hopes were raised after losing patience, after thinking that his visit to Delhi has been futile. So he was trying to leave with this kind of thought that I'm not going to get any money from this place. But when he went to bid farewell to the Sufi saint asked him why he is leaving, and he can't leave him without giving him anything. So then the poor man's hopes were raised again. The Sufi took off his worn out slippers. So what did he give him? He took off his worn out, पुरानी जो बहुत यूज हो चुकी थी, मतलब जिनका हाल बहुत खराब हो, जो पहन पहन के जो अब पुरानी हो चुकी थी. He took off his worn out slippers, चप्पलें जो उनकी थी, and gave them to the villager, saying, और वो इस villager को दे दी और बोला, you have a long and dusty journey ahead. कि तुम्हारी जो जर्नी आगे की वापसी की जर्नी है वो बहुत ही लंबी है. इट्स अ लॉन्ग जर्नी एंड डस्टी, एंड द रोड्स आर फुल ऑफ डस्ट, द वे इज फुल ऑफ डस्ट. ऑफ कोर्स दीज स्लीपर्स मे बी यूजफुल, ये तुम्हारे काम आएंगी ये चप्पलें. आई ओनली ओन व्हाट आई वेयर, क्योंकि मेरे पास और कुछ नहीं है, मेरे पास बस इतना ही है मेरा अपना जो मैं यूज करता हूँ, जो मैं पहनता हूँ. सो आई विल गिव यू दीज विथ माई ब्लेसिंग्स. सो दिस इज द ओनली थिंग आई कैन give you, because I do not own, I'm not a rich person, I don't own anything else other than what I wear. So here are my slippers, and these I'm giving you because your journey is going to be very long and dusty, so these slippers may help you. The villager was shocked. The villager को तो बड़ा शॉक हो गया कि मैं क्या सोच के आया था, and what is this person giving me? His worn out old slippers. But did not show his surprise as he respected the saint. लेकिन उन्होंने कुछ नहीं बोला. He was shocked. उसको बड़ा शॉक हो गया, but he didn't show it to the saint because he respected him and did not want to insult him. तो वो चुप बैठा ताकि वो, क्योंकि वो उसकी बहुत रिस्पेक्ट करते थे, and he didn't want to insult him. वो नहीं बोल पाया कुछ भी कि आप ये मुझे क्या दे रहे हो, अपनी पुरानी स्लीपर्स. So he just stayed quiet. The world talks of Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, but in reality, he is as poor as me. He didn't say anything, but then he said to himself, वो बस ये सोचे, अपने साथ ही उन्होंने ये सोचा कि पूरी दुनिया तो हजरत निज़ामुद्दीन औलिया के बारे में बात करती है, लेकिन देखो ही इज़ एज पोर एज मी. उनके पास तो मतलब मैं भी वैसा है, वो मेरे जैसे इतने गरीब हैं, उनके पास तो कुछ भी नहीं है. ही इज़ एज पोर एज मी, thought the villager to himself. He then left Delhi with a pair of slippers in his bundle. तो जो उनके पास एक छोटा सा बंडल था, जो उनका अपना सामान था, उसमें स्लीपर्स रख दिए, and he left for his journey back to his home. He was afraid that the people of his village would laugh at him when they would see or hear of the gift that the saint had given him. और उसको बड़ा ही अंदर से ये था, सोच रहे थे that when I would tell my villagers, fellow villagers, what I got from this place, what I got from Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, they would laugh at me. तो यही सोच के वो चल दिए वापस. Now more words, not going to bear fruit, not going to give any favorable results, to say farewell, to say goodbye. Hopes were raised to become hopeful again. So with this thought that people would laugh at him for the gift Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia gave him, he left for his village. Now as the villager was walking in the hot sun, he saw a great cloud of dust coming towards him. अब वो चल रहे थे because it was a very long journey. Suddenly in the middle of the journey, and it was an open road kind of place, a desert kind of place. So what he saw कि अचानक बहुत जैसे क्लाउड, धूल, जैसे क्लाउड जैसा होता वैसी ही धूल का एक क्लाउड जैसा उड़ा, coming towards him. As he watched, so he was a little surprised, and he got curious to see what it was. As he watched, he saw a magnificent horse galloping towards him. जब वो देखा तो उन्होंने क्या देखा कि एक बहुत ही शानदार हॉर्स उनकी तरफ तेजी से आ रहा है. And you can imagine when that horse is galloping or riding fast on that dusty road, that cloud of dust is raised. So this is what happened. So he saw a very magnificent horse galloping towards him. An equally magnificent rider was seated on the horse. और उस पे जितना हॉर्स मैग्निफिक शानदार था, उतना ही एक हैंडसम बंदा उस पे बैठा हुआ था, राइड कर रहा था. The horse and the horseman drew nearer and stopped in front of the villager. So that horse was coming very fast towards him, and he stopped near the villager. The striking horseman got off the horse. This handsome, beautiful horseman got off from the horse and pointing to the bundle. और जो इनके पास वो थैला जैसा था जिसमें इसने स्लीपर्स रखे थे, पोर मैन ने उसकी तरफ इशारा किया. To the bundle said, "You lucky man, are you coming from the great saint with a priceless gift?" कि आप वहाँ से हजरत निज़ामुद्दीन औलिया के वहाँ से आ रहे हो, दरबार से आ रहे हो, and with this wonderful gift कि उन्होंने आपके लिए आपको इतना priceless, invaluable, जिसकी कोई कीमत ना हो. Not that it is very costing very less, no. कोई ऐसी चीज होती है जो हमारे लिए priceless होती है, invaluable होती है. So we cannot sell for that. We hold them very dear, something which is very dear to us. We do not think about the price of that thing or whatever we have got, but we call it invaluable, which we cannot part with. So this is what he called him, that it is a priceless gift in your bundle. Are you coming after meeting him and carrying the priceless gift with you? The poor man stammered. मतलब वो हकला गए, वो शॉक हो गई, सरप्राइज हो गई. What is this person telling me? This is an ordinary slipper. This is an old, ordinary and worn out slipper. And what is this person calling it priceless? So he was quite surprised कि मतलब वो बात भी नहीं अच्छे से कर पाए. उन्होंने थोड़ा सा हकलाया. That it was indeed a gift that the saint had given him, but it was far from priceless. Yes, it was a gift from the holy pan, from that saint, but it was far. मतलब ऐसा भी नहीं, it is just an ordinary slipper. Why is he calling it priceless? He wondered aloud. तो वो सोचे, सोचने लग गए और फिर मतलब उन्होंने अपनी जो थॉट्स है वो he didn't want to say it but he was thinking it but he thought it aloud कि वो बोल उठे. How the stranger knew that the villager had been to meet the saint. कि आपको कैसे पता that I am coming after meeting the saint. I had been there to meet the saint. He was thinking about that, but then he said it to that person who was riding the horse. Now some more words here. Galloping means moving at a very fast pace, the speed of a horse. Stammered, speaking with sudden unwanted pauses, मतलब रुक रुक के बात करना, usually out of nervousness. So he wondered aloud how this person knew that I was coming after meeting the saint. I recognized the sweet fragrance of my Lord from the bundle that you carry. That I do not know, but I can recognize the sweet fragrance जो इन slippers से इतनी खुशबू आ रही है. I can recognize, I can tell from that fragrance that you are coming after meeting the saint, after meeting my Lord. He introduced himself as अमीर खुसरो और अपना नाम अमीर खुसरो बताया उन्होंने कि मैं पहचान गया उनकी खुशबू से, जो उनकी खुशबू आपके बंडल से आ रही है उससे मैं पहचान गया that you are coming after meeting him. The villager showed him the pair of slippers and to his surprise, Amir Khusro picked them up reverently and held them to his head. और उन्होंने सच में दिखाए उसको slippers. And he was surprised to see that this saint, जिनको उसने ordinary slippers सोचा था, और ये जो person था इतना magnificent looking person जो था, उन्होंने वो उठाया हाथ में और बहुत ही respectfully अपने सर के साथ लगा दिया. In reverence, in respect, when we hold something very dear, when something is very dear to us, या फिर हम जिस चीज़ को बहुत ज़्यादा मानते हैं, हम कैसे उसको अपने साथ लगाते हैं. So we don't want to part with that, we don't want anybody else to touch that. So this is how this person held those slippers और अपने सर के साथ लगाए in respect. And this poor man was really surprised. Amir Khusro picked them up reverently and held them to his head. Be kind and give me these slippers. और उनके साथ plead किया, request किया कि please मुझे ये slippers, आप ये slippers मुझे दे दो. For a bag of gold that I have earned for 6 months of work for the emperor. आप इसके बदले आप ये bag of gold लीजिए जो मेरे 6 months की कमाई है. You can also have my horse and my robe. जो मेरे पास है वो आप सब ले लो, मेरा horse ले लो, मेरे ये जो शानदार कपड़े हैं ये सब ले लो, और ये बैग ऑफ गोल्ड ले लो, but you give me these slippers. The villager was astounded is greatly surprised, shocked, but he readily agreed to part with the slippers. तो उनको लगा कि वाह, मैं तो पैसे लेने गया था, ये तो मुझे इतना सारा उसके बदले दे रहे हैं, slippers के बदले. So he was ready to do it for the unequal amount, because for him slippers were very inexpensive, slippers were very ordinary, but in return he was getting lot of things and gold. Both men were delighted with their exchange. So दोनों खुश हो गए. अमीर खुसरो को उनकी पसंद वाली चीज मिल गई जिसको वो बहुत ही चाहते थे, जिसको वो बहुत रिस्पेक्ट करते थे, और the poor man, he wanted money, so he was getting money in return. So both were happy with this exchange. Each thought that he had gained the greatest treasure. और दोनों ये समझे कि हमने जो चाहा था, जो हमारी मतलब ख्वाहिश थी, जो हमारी विश थी, डिजायर थी, वो हमको मिल गए. अमीर खुसरो left for Delhi and the poor villager returned a rich man. So अमीर खुसरो दिल्ली की तरफ चले गए and poor villager, he went to his place. Never again in his life did he have to worry about his food and clothing. So he got what he had wanted, what he had wished, what he had gone to Delhi for. So after that he never had to worry for his livelihood, for his food or clothes, whatever he wanted. And he lived happily. Needless to say, he became a devout follower of the Sufi. But after that, जो वो मतलब when he had gone to Delhi to meet the Sufi saint, he didn't have that much of faith or trust in him. But what happened on his way back to home, उसके बाद वो उसके बहुत ही डिवोट मीन्स डिवोटेड staunch follower Hazrat Nizamuddin के लिए बन गए. Though he had given him slippers, but in exchange for his slippers he got what he had always wanted. So he became a very devout follower of the Sufi, whose humility is humbleness. Though he had such rich followers, he could have done anything he wanted. He could have asked money, wealth from those rich followers, and they would have willingly give him anything. But he never wanted that. He was not that kind of person. So that is how humble he was in his life. In spite of having that much, life had to offer him so much of wealth and all, but he never wanted that. He never craved for that, or he never desired that. He was happy with whatever little he was living with. His followers were ready to give him anything he would even ask for, he would ever ask for, but he never wanted anything because he was living a very simple life. So this humbleness of the Sufi saint touched this person. He believed in him now, that how humble this person was, whose humility he could never forget. So he became a devout follower of the Sufi saint. Now more words here. Reverently means respectfully. Robes is the coat, the gown kind of thing they wear on top of other clothes. Astounded, shocked or greatly surprised. Readily is immediately. Devout means devoted, and humility is humbleness. Now, later the poor villager came to know that Amir Khusro was a great musician. So when he got to know, when he was curious to know about this person, who he was, so he got to know that Amir Khusro was a great musician of that time. Musician in the sense that he always used music in the praise of God, and poet, as well as the most famous disciple of Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia. He wrote in Persian, Arabic and Hindi. He is considered to be the inventor of the tabla and the Hindi language. He was buried near the tomb of Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia in Delhi. So this is who that person was. Amir Khusro, a great musician and a most famous disciple, follower of Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia. Like you can see how what kind of follower he was, that he was ready to give anything in exchange for those worn out slippers. And he wrote in Persian. Persian is language which people in Iran use. Arabic and Hindi. He is considered to be the inventor of tabla and the Hindi language. See, he is the inventor of the Hindi language. He was buried because he was a staunch follower of this Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia. He was also buried. When he died, he was buried near the tomb of Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia in Delhi. So disciple is the student and inventor is the creator. So this is the last thing about, we have already learned about Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia. Now let's read a little bit more about him. Sayyid Muhammad Nizamuddin Aulia 1238 to 1325 was also known as Hazrat Nizamuddin. He was one of the most famous Sufi saints of the Indian subcontinent. He stressed upon love as a means of attaining God, and his love for God implied a love of humanity. So this was all about the chapter. I hope you have learned a good lesson from this. And now whenever you go to Delhi and hear about this word Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, you will be able to tell people that we have read about him and we know who this person was. He was a great Sufi saint who believed in oneness of God and who didn't believe in different religions. He treated all religions very equally, and he believed in humanity, in serving humans, in serving poor, needy, downtrodden, oppressed, and It was not that he only treated Muslims well. For him, every person was same. This is what he believed in. He didn't believe in caste or different religion distinctions or different religions when it came to people. This is what this chapter is about, and this is what this chapter teaches us. So that was all for today. Hope you have understood it. Stay blessed and stay happy. Thank you, children.